Have you ever looked at an old photo of yourself from years and years ago and felt like you were looking at a stranger? And not because you aged, but because the person in the photo had hobbies. That person had opinions and character. That person had a specific way of laughing that didn't sound like anyone else. And then you look at yourself now and you realize you've become like a composite sketch, a greatest hits or maybe even a worst hits album of someone else's personality. Which sounds kind of cool at first, depending on which album of those you chose, until you realize you don't even like half the songs on either album. Because that happened to me one time where I was going through old photographs and I saw a picture of my younger self and I was like, it's like a different person. I don't even know who I am anymore. And the scary part was that I wasn't even referencing life and aging changing me. I was talking about previous relationships. Because no one wakes up one day and just decides to lose themselves for love. It doesn't just happen all at once. It happens slowly and quietly, gradually over time. And by the time we notice it, we don't even recognize ourselves anymore. And the worst part, most people don't even realize it's happening until they've already disappeared. Because it usually starts with something that feels good. We meet someone and there's an instant connection, and for the first time in a while, we feel heard and loved and seen. And when we feel seen, we want it to stay that way. So we start making small little micro adjustments. Nothing major, just little things. And this is the part that gets dangerous because it feels harmless at first. We laugh at jokes we wouldn't normally find funny. We start liking things that they like One Direction. We say yes to eating onions when we would have normally said no, we really don't like onions. We stop listening to that weird nu metal band that we've always loved because they think it's just lame noise. We start drinking boba even though we really hate the feeling and texture of those strange little marbles going down our throats, all because they love popular Asian teas. And then we're sitting there like, wait, when did I become this person? But here's the thing. We don't even ask that question right away because it doesn't feel like losing ourselves. It feels like growing closer. It feels like progress. Like we're doing the right thing for the other person. Like we finally figured out how to make something last for once. But what we don't realize is that every small micro adjustment is just a quiet trade. A piece of us for a piece of the relationship. And at first, it kind of feels like a fair deal. Because in our minds, we're not changing who we are. We're just becoming someone that they'll love more. Even though they never asked us to do that to begin with. We just think to ourselves, it feels worth it, right? We call it getting lost in love. Like it's something poetic. Like two souls merging into one. But in reality, it's just a disappearing act. And why do we do it? Why is it so easy for us to let go of the steering wheel of our own identities? And I think it's because of something called the gap. You know, it's that space in between two people. That realization that no matter how much we love someone, they will always still be a completely different person than us. And that distance, it can be terrifying. And so to kill that fear, we try to close the gap. We think if we just become them, mirror them, merge with them completely, let them see a piece of themselves in us, that we'll finally be safe. But then something starts to shift, slowly, almost invisibly. And the things that we used to do that made us who we are, we stop doing. The hobbies, our routines, our interests. The little pieces of us in our life that felt just like us. Our opinions get quieter, our preferences get softer, and our boundaries get negotiable. And we didn't even notice it was happening because it didn't feel like a loss. It felt like closeness. But here's the part that most people don't talk about. We didn't even lose ourselves because of them. We lost ourselves because we thought that being loved required it. Because somewhere along the way, we learned that being too much pushes people away. Having needs makes us difficult. Standing firm in our beliefs risks losing them. And so we adapt, and we shrink, and we reshape ourselves into something a little safer. And the more we do it, the more it seems to work. Our brain starts telling us that they seem to like us more, things in the relationship feel smoother, there's less conflict. And so our mind says, yes, see, this is right, keep doing this. But what's actually happening is we're just subconsciously rewarding our own disappearance. And it's like being a support class in somebody else's RPG. We forgot that we were supposed to be the main character. So we put all of our experience points into pleasing somebody else, and our own skill tree we left completely empty. And then one day it just hits you. Usually at night, when everything's quiet, and we're staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m, and we think, when did I stop being me? And we look at our life and our choices and our thoughts, and something just feels off. Not wrong, just different. And here's the real tragedy. When you close the gap, we sometimes can kill the attraction the other person had for us. Because they didn't fall in love with a mirror. They fell in love with us. Someone real, somebody different from them, somebody whole. The person who we were when they first laid eyes on us and met us for the first time. So we didn't even save the relationship by losing ourselves and becoming them. In fact, we endangered it even more because we turned a duet into a solo. And how do we come back from that? Well, I think it starts with something pretty simple. Simple but terrifying. We have to let ourselves just exist again. Because a healthy relationship isn't two people becoming one. It's two people staying whole and choosing each other anyway. There's a me, there's a you, and in the middle, there's an us. And the us can only survive if the me doesn't disappear. Because love isn't supposed to erase you. It's supposed to reveal you. It's supposed to enhance who you already were. Take what you already were and bring it to another level, a version 2.0. So if you feel like you've disappeared and like you've become a ghost in your own relationship, I want to tell you something. That person who you used to be, they're still in there. And they're just waiting. They're just waiting for you to come find them again. And you don't even have to leave the person you love to find yourself, because the right partner will probably lead the search party to find that person who they originally met. You just have to stop asking yourself for permission to exist. So take a deep breath and turn on the radio to that weird new metal band you miss. And just remember that the most important relationship that you'll ever have is the one with the person who's in the driver's seat of your life. So don't let that seat be empty.